Our hormones come from our gonads, our testes, and our ovaries, and it includes androgens like testosterone, estrogens, and progestins. Now, it's important to recognize kind of when we talk about gendered terminology, there is a spectrum rather than a binary division of gender identities, sexual organs, and secondary sex characteristics. So, in this lecture, we'll use AFAB terminology to describe estrogenic hormones, individuals with ovaries that naturally produce higher amounts of estrogens and androgens. And we'll use AMAB terminology to describe androgenic hormones and individuals with testes that naturally produce higher amounts of androgens than estrogens. So our HPG axis, our hypothalamus pituitary gonadal axis, involves our hormones that are secreted by the gonads, stimulated by, and they help to regulate the HPT, testicular, and HPO, ovarian axes. The hypothalamus secretes GnRH from our preoptic and supraoptic nuclei, which then stimulates the gonadotropic cells to secrete FSH, which stimulates development of gametes, and LH, which stimulates androgen production, and in AFAB persons can have a surge that triggers ovulation, release of an egg or ova. The gonads then will secrete testosterone, estradiol, and progesterone. Now, it's important to remember all gonadal hormones are steroids from cholesterol. They're all lipophilic, so when they're traveling in the blood, they're typically protein bound. And these transport proteins are often sex hormone binding globulin and other proteins like albumin, as well as sometimes they are free hormones. Here is showing kind of our cholesterol backbone and then our conversion steps, pregnenolone. We can see then it gets hydroxylated, then it becomes our dihydroepiandrosterone, and then androstenediol, and then we have our testosterone and dihydrotestosterone at the end in this kind of androgens world. Of note, there are some key enzymes that are a part of kind of these conversion steps. From pregnenolone or progesterone to the 17 alpha version, we have 17 alpha hydroxylase. From testosterone to dihydrotestosterone, we have 5 alpha reductase. From our testosterone or androstenedione to our estrogens, we have aromatase. And we have from our progesterone in 17 hydroxyprogesterone to our deoxy versions, we have 21 hydroxylase. All of these could be important. These ones tend to come up a little bit more, especially if you're considering studying and utilizing the study for your board exam, either clinical or biomedical science. Back to our summary tables, we have our gonads and we have the hormones that they produce and kind of their different functions depending on if they are occurring in both or in all individuals, or if they tend to be more having an increased action in certain gendered individuals. These are all the placental hormones, again, listed here. This is not a pregnancy class, but just so you have them all listed in one space that has all of your hormones, the organ they come from, and their action or primary effect in the body. Lastly, it's important to note that while not endocrine organs, there are other organs that have endocrine function. And so these are a list of kind of the hormones. We talked about insulin and glucagon already, but these are hormones that are in our digestive tract, our stomach, and our intestines that are secreted and used to affect different parts of our digestion or even our body as a whole, our metabolism as a whole. So keeping in mind that these are all secreted as hormones, not local secretions. And then lastly, kind of our other tissues that can have a hormonal component, like our thymus, adipose tissue, heart, and liver. And that is the end of your kind of brief hormone deep dive, your biochemistry connection, kind of reminding you about some of those signaling pathways and the connection to metabolism with a post-absorptive and a absorptive state. I would really lean into the pancreatic conversation about insulin and glucagon and how it can affect metabolism, kind of the first few slides. That's going to serve you well for your quiz this week.